You won't believe what happens inside Walmart after midnight, and neither did I. I dare you to watch this alone at night. Most people can't make it past the end. I was 17, working the overnight shift at Walmart. I thought nothing scary could ever happen under bright fluorescent lights, until the Labubu dolls arrived. Their glossy black eyes looked wet, and that's when the store began to watch us. Corporate called it a drop. My manager, Trina, called it, make sure none go missing. I got toys because I'm small and because I don't complain. I sliced open shrink wrap, nicked my finger, and 100 black eyes reflected me like I'd been multiplied. Maya, another seasonal, bumped my elbow so I wouldn't scratch the boxes. Gus, the lifer who's always fighting the baler, shuffled by and said we'd be here till sunrise. We built the end cap, bright and perfect, ears lined like pickets on a fence. I looked up to the fisheye mirror to check the spacing and froze. Eighth from the left, one Labubu's head was tilted toward me, like it was listening. I blinked and it was straight again. Perfect and unblinking. I tried to laugh it off until I felt breath behind me and heard, "Good job," in Trina's voice. I turned. Her name tag looked mirror-printed, like it was meant to be read in a camera. She was smiling too wide. I muttered thanks, walked on, and glanced into the office. Trina was in there counting tills. 2 Trinas. 1 too smooth. At 12:17 a.m. a PA announcement clicked on, "Associates, we're on inventory lockdown. Doors secured until 7. Please keep your face where the cameras can see you." It sounded like Trina if you stretched her vowels and ironed her personality flat. In the break room someone had taped a handwritten note under the workplace violence poster. It said, "If you hear the manager on the PA after 1:11 a.m., don't answer, the office is counting till then. If someone uses your name twice in one sentence, walk. Do not return any Labubu to the shelf after 1:30 a.m. Take them to layaway face down. If 2 people are the same, ask them to smile. Real smiles show gums. Don't look at the self-checkout monitor. It sees a version of you that doesn't blink. You can keep your job if you keep your face." Gus called it a prank, the kind bored teenagers leave in the bathroom. Maya said it's probably viral promo for the toys. The back door rattled once, hard, like something outside was testing the lock and learning the verb, push. I went back to toys because that's what I do, just keep moving. A Labubu lay face down in the Barbie aisle. I followed the note, took it to layaway, and printed a label. It came out with "Return TO aisle 13, and my stomach dipped. I set the toy face down on the counter and felt a breath against my ear. "Tyler, hey, Tyler, can you come here, Tyler?" My name 3 times, soft and practiced. I walked away without answering, staring at the tiles so I wouldn't catch my reflection in glass. When I passed the apparel mirror, my reflection blinked a half-second late. I forced a smile to test the rule. In the glass, my teeth multiplied like the image was trying on different versions of my mouth. Maya slid into view wearing her doodled Vans and whispered, "Don't feed it." She'd written "check shoes" on a sticker, a code we used to confirm the real us. Down the aisle the PA clicked again, "Associates remember to smile." 2 gooses turned their heads in the same slow motion. One smiled without showing gums. The store's breath changed around 2 a.m., the building hum turning into something that sounded like it was listening. A new torn receipt lay near the end cap, scrawled with, "If you have to ask if it's real, it can hear you asking." I looked, even though every part of me didn't want to, and the end cap seemed taller, ears poking above the sign against safety rules. Under the lights their eyes shimmered. A Labubu hopped. It didn't fall, it frog jumped. Hollow plastic hit tile and rolled to my shoe. The ear twitched like leftover memory. "Don't touch it," Maya said from behind me, and I knew she wasn't the real one because I could smell a hint of perfume no one wears on overnights, and her smile never showed gums. The real Maya called from Crafts. Both versions told me Trina was in the office at the same time, and I felt suddenly like the store had a stomach and I'd walked into it. I ran to freezer for cold air that felt like truth. The glass was fogged from the inside, handprints pressed out. Gus looked at me through the frost and tapped letters in the fog. Smee Lou. I went to garden next because sometimes you can see the morning sneaking up in that corner. The roll-up door was chained, and the label printer at the counter was on. The label chirped out, Labubu Night, WM exclusive, SKU 11966TR. TR like Trina. Something breathed behind me and stopped when I noticed. TV walls on seasonal showed security feeds. On the screen, I was alone in garden. In real life, the air stalled at my neck as if someone were about to speak directly into my skin. The PA used my mother's voice and said, "Tyler, sweetie? Come to the front, honey." My throat tried to answer on its own. Maya grabbed my shoulder. "Don't," she said, and on the self-checkout screen my reflection smiled with gums while I stood there stone-faced. "Run," she said. We ran. Cart wheels chattered like teeth. Plastic began to tap behind us, first one set of little hollow feet, then a dozen, then a chorus. The PA said gently, "We are open. Please wipe down your name. Please place your name in a cart." We slammed into layaway and the printer spat out, "Associate, Tyler Reed return." Maya looked at me carefully, showed her gums when she smiled, and said, "On 3 we hit the fire door. If it doesn't open, we hide until 7. The PA counted, 1. We went on 2. The crash bar buzzed and denied us. The plastic footsteps were close now, learning the rhythm of walking. We cut through shoes. Laces flicked at our ankles like little tongues. "Overstock, up," Maya hissed. We sprinted a ladder and crawled into the racks, crouching on pallets under an inflatable Santa that panted softly. Below, the aisles held their breath. A toy tipped off a shelf and righted itself without sliding, like rules didn't apply to its weight. We waited for something that felt like morning. It wasn't the official lights coming up or the chime of the doors unlocking. It was a long exhale from the vents and a single ordinary cough from somewhere human. Then the doors slid open. Outside smelled like exhaust and damp air. Trina stood there with coffee and a real tired face. "Shift report? Everything good?" she asked, and when she smiled I saw gums. I managed a nod. Maya said, "Yeah, we'll be here," with a steadier voice than I had. As we walked out, a blank receipt fluttered near the carts with a tiny symbol printed at the bottom. 2 ears. A Labubu with a chewed ear sat in a kid seat, watching nothing. I didn't touch it. I went home, locked my door, and tried to sleep. At 4:10 p.m., I woke to 3 texts from an unknown number, the thread named with my full name. "We open at 7. Smile. Do not edit your post." I hadn't posted anything. Not yet. My hands shook while I dressed for night 2 and told myself we need the money and we can explain anything if we say it fast enough. I got there at 10:02 p.m. and found a new sign on the end cap, Laboo exclusive night shift variant. The photo showed a Labubu in a tiny hoodie and cap like mine. The eyes were mine too, right down to the faint red vein from when I split my eyebrow in 8th grade. Maya didn't clock in. Trina said she called out. Gus rolled by pushing freight, and when he lifted his hand to wave, the snake tattoo he's had for years wasn't there. Tyler need a hand?" he asked, twice in one sentence, smiling like he'd practiced in a mirror that didn't belong to him. I told him I needed peg hooks and ducked into the break room to write all of this while the PA used my mother's wrong nickname for me and asked me to come to the front. "If this reaches you, I followed every rule I have. If you hear from me and it sounds exactly like me, that's the point. If you work nights, tape over the self-checkout cameras and don't look at the fisheye mirrors. If your manager uses your name wrong, walk. If you see a Labubu with my eyes, don't buy it, don't touch it, don't take it home. I'm going back out there because I still need the money and because I want to prove the store doesn't know me as well as it thinks it does. But I also want to be very sure it never learns where I live."